Hello, welcome back to the Socially Cordial YouTube channel. My name is Adrianna and I help multi-million-dollar businesses drive profitable marketing strategies for their business. Today's video is going to outline how to start and launch a podcast that's actually in demand and actually going to make you some money. Before we dive in though, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button and to hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video here on the Socially Cordial YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's dive into how to get your podcast launched. The first thing you want to do is you want to have an idea. Your idea for your podcast should stem from your story, what you really believe in, and what you want to be known for and have a voice for around. So that's where everything starts, is your core idea. Once you have your core idea, you want to take to ChatGPT. You want to ask ChatGPT whether or not your idea within your market, within your niche, is saturated or not. If it says it's saturated, then you want to proceed by asking ChatGPT what you can create, what kind of show you can create on the same topic that would help differentiate your show from other shows in the same industry, in the same market. What's great about ChatGPT is that it will actually give you the right guidance as to what kind of show you should be creating that still aligns with your goals, but that isn't overly saturated and that can get lost through the noise. Once you've got your idea, you've got your concept kind of put together that's going to differentiate you in the market, you want to take it a step further and actually test your idea in this market. You want to start reaching out to people and asking them if they'd be interested in this sort of show. You want to be asking your network. You can ask on LinkedIn. If you have a big Instagram audience, you can ask your Instagram audience. You just want to go ahead and tap into your market in some capacity to ask your market, hey, would you be interested at all in this sort of show? Do you feel the same needs that I feel in your day-to-day? And would this type of show add value to you in your life? If you start getting a lot of responses as heck yes, something like around 30 responses over the course of a month or two, then you know that you all of a sudden have a really, really good show idea and that you should probably put it in motion and move forward with your idea and get your show launched. At this point, okay, you've got your idea, you've got your concept for your show, you've validated your idea in your market. You need to find where you're going to shoot your podcast. Are you going to shoot in a studio? Are you going to source equipment and shoot it right in your office? Are you going to shoot it from home? Those are questions that you want to ask yourself. If you go straight to a studio, there's a lot of benefits where they can also edit some of your content. They have really great quality already. You don't have to mess around with the sound and do sound checks and things like that. It's a little bit more of a set it and forget it situation if you book a studio. By the same token, it can be a lot less expensive to get your podcast launched and off the ground if you source your own equipment. If you choose to source your own equipment, then you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a camera because podcasts nowadays cannot grow without video. You're going to need a mic and you're going to need a tripod. And then lastly, you're going to need a tool that syncs everything together. We really like Frame. I'll put it in the description box below for you to check out. But that's basically the tech stack that you're going to need to get your podcast up and running and launched. Once you've got all of your equipment, you've sourced your equipment, now is the time for you to write your show. You need to find a title for your show, a cute name. You need a tagline for your show. You need to record a soundbite for your show, kind of like an intro that will play on every episode. And then of course you need to build your shows. You need to put together segments within your shows. You need to decide how long your show is going to be. You need to think about whether or not you want to bring on guests on your show. And so those are all things that you have to sit and do. It takes a few hours to just sit and figure out what kind of show you're going to build, what you want to talk about on episodes 1 through 3. And then once you have kind of your outline for your show, you can use it while you film as a frame of reference for you to talk through all the topics that you want to talk through and the segments you want to cover. At this point, you have successfully started your show. You need to book a time to record your show. So whether that means you're booking a time in your calendar within, your availability times to sit and record at home or at your office, or you're actually booking the studio directly, either way, you need to go ahead and book a time to record, because if you don't record, then nobody will ever hear your show. And last but most important step in this entire process, aside from maybe testing the market, is to put together your marketing strategy. How are you going to grow your show? That is so important that you find a way to grow your show so that you're not speaking to an audience that just isn't in existence or is aware of your podcast. So that's super, super important. In the next video, I will share what kind of marketing strategy we recommend for your podcast growth, as well as a few tips on how you can monetize it too. If you're feeling super overwhelmed putting together your podcast show, feel free to book a meeting with me. You and I can chat about your podcast idea, and I can put together a show for you and talk about different ways that we can work together to help you get your show up and running and off the ground. My calendar will be linked in the description box below. If you have any questions about anything we talked about in today's video, feel free to write it in the comment box below as well. And on that note, I will see you in the next video where we're going to talk about marketing your podcast. Bye for now.